All right, thanks everyone for being here this morning. And this is a press conference about our introduction of automatic voter registration to bring that to Ohio. Voter registration itself started as a tool to keep certain people from voting when it was first created in our country. It was a major way to crack down on newly enfranchised voters, and that really lasted from the 1800s through the 1960s, when we saw poll taxes to register and literacy tests that excluded literate black people and let illiterate whites on the rolls. In the 40s, Rosa Parks, long before her bus boycott, failed registration tests 3 times. In the 1960s, civil rights workers were threatened and murdered for registering black voters. In the 1970s, turning to Ohio, Ohio took away same-day voter registration and created a voter registration deadline of 30 days before the election, which is currently our voter registration deadline and is the longest voter registration deadline allowed under federal law. Zoom forward to 2004, we had the Secretary of State, Ken Blackwell in Ohio, who threw out voters' registration forms if they weren't on the right cardstock. In 2004 again, we had mass voter challenges by the Republican Party challenging Ohioans' voter registrations. We had that again in 2012, mass voter challenges by an anti-voter group in Hamilton County. In every election year, we seem to encounter the portraying of nonprofits doing voter registration work as criminals for helping poor people get registered. In 2014, we took away 1 week of early voting, also the week where you could register and vote on the same day, again making an obstacle towards registration and voting. And now, this year, we have seen House Bill 41 be introduced, which shortens the time to correct the voter rolls and makes voter registration challenges stricter. So there are endless ways to use voter registration rules to deter and confuse voters. And we need to take away this weapon of voter oppression. Republicans have wrapped voter registration in a cloak of danger and even criminality. They treat it like an admission to an exclusive country club instead of what it must be, everyone's ticket to our democracy. Voter registration carries the baggage of an ugly, violent history, and we must still work hard to turn that page. So, talking about what House Bill 14 does, which is Ohio's automatic voter registration bill. This bill will automatically register voters with a driver's license or state ID card. It will automatically register voters who work with the disability services offices, Veterans Affairs, or Job and Family Services. And it will also register Ohio high school students who turn 18 and are eligible to vote. We anticipate that just when this bill is enacted, 1 million Ohioans could be added to our voter rolls and given that ticket to participate in our democracy. Voters would have 21 days to opt out. They could do that either in person or by mail. And this would also fix Ohio's continued failure to comply with federal motor voter law. It stops purging and makes our failure to register people at the BMV and other designated agencies irrelevant. It also would expand online voter registration to all Ohioans, not just Ohioans who have an Ohio driver's license or state ID card. So, just some points to emphasize about this important legislation. Automatic voter registration is the solution to voter purging and to voter oppression. There's no valid reason not to enact this legislation in Ohio. You've seen, I believe, 6 states lead and adopt automatic voter registration, and about half of the states in the country have legislation pending to bring automatic voter registration to their state. The registration should be an opt-out system, not an opt-in system. And we already have the data sharing capability in Ohio. It's in use and it's available. We've had 52,000 people's ballots thrown out in Ohio since 2011 because they were not registered. We had 7,500 ballots saved in 2016 because of our anti-purging lawsuit. These people would all be captured under an automatic voter registration system and would have their ballots counted and would have been able to participate in our democracy. So as you can see, this is very important legislation. I'm proud to be the lead sponsor. It is House Bill 14. And now I'd like you to hear from